broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
This is such a sad song.
I know all the songs on this episode were sad, you guys. But this one was pretty good.
This is the least saddest of them all.
Hello, AfterBuzz fans. You are tuned in to another episode of Blackish on ABC. I'm your host, Courtney Tezeno. Keep in touch with me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram. But it doesn't matter because I have a lovely co-host who can introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I'm your other host, Shaprintace Lynn. We're missing two of our lovely ladies today, but they shall be back.
Yes. Shout out to Megan and Stacey. Okay, so this is season 2, episode 3, Dr. Hell No. I thought this episode was hilarious because you know black people do not like going to the doctor.
No,
we have a hard time. So literally this whole episode, me and Shaprintace were laughing our butts off because everything was so accurate. Shout out to Kenya Barris for doing a dynamic job. Okay, so let's jump right in. So black people don't like going to the doctor.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of times it takes us getting hurt or being in a lot of pain before we go to the doctor.
Seriously hurt though. Like seriously. Like not a cough, a broken leg, like nope, walk it off. But like near death.
Right.
Then we'll go.
Right. See, I actually experienced that recently. Girl and guys and everyone. Y'all, I couldn't even walk. It was so bad. You got to take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Don't be in the position where you are so bad and broke down. People looking at you like, what's going on with you? You're supposed to be healthy. So, black people, we do that. And they touched on it this episode. But the best part was, honestly, the fact that they talked about second opinions. And why do we always run to our friends and our family who are not professionals to get a second opinion? What did you think about that whole breakdown?
First of all, cranberry juice. I forgot to Google Afrin. What is Afrin?
I don't know. So you guys at home, let us know what Afrin is. We'll probably Google it right after, but let us know in the comments.
Because Pop said he took 2 snorts of it, and I would like to know what it is. Because
is it legal?
It
has to be
insurance
legal.
Is, and then in doctor visits, and if it works, I'll try Afrin. It's worked for Pops.
For 30 years, it sounds really addictive.
But it works.
Right. But it works. It works for something.
Just to let you know, Afrin is a brand of nasal spray used to ease nasal congestion.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so he was making it seem like it was something life-changing.
I thought this was like some super medical crack or something.
Right, okay. So my dad is someone who doesn't go to the doctor. Sorry, Dad. But he is always talking about, gotta take your vitamin C. And I'm like, okay, so vitamin C is supposed to give me my energy and keep me going.
That's true. That's kind of true, though.
Yeah.
That is kind of true.
But vitamin C is not going to help with your clogged arteries when y'all are eating Popeyes chicken every Tuesday and bacon.
No, it's not. I mean, no. It's not.
It's not.
It's really not.
Isn't it so interesting though? Like black people really know how to make some good food. All people, we know how to make some really good food, but black people make some good fried chicken, good fried food. And we saw from Grandma Ruby that bacon is probably the reason that Pops had this clogged artery.
Well, she slid him a little more. I think she was trying to kill him off. But yeah, I'm sure the bacon, I'm sure the chitlins, I'm sure the fried chicken, I'm sure all the greasy stuff. And same thing with my grandma.
Pointing fingers.
She does the same thing, and she had a similar, I'm sorry Grandma, but she had a similar heart thing, and it's that food. And as a people, and just as people in general, not just black people, we gotta take account and be responsible for what we're putting in our bodies. And
right,
even though that fried chicken and them chitlins is good,
tastes good,
we can't,
not every day, not every other week.
No,
in moderation, you guys, in moderation. We're not saying don't eat your food, but I mean, it was just really interesting to see that it really took him getting to that point of like, oh my goodness, I'm either I'm having a heart attack or I'm having whatever whatever's going on with me for him to say, I'm going to get this procedure. And so why do you think we are so scared? I know they touched on it a little bit, but why do you think we're so scared to go to the doctor?
And it may have started from what Dre said, the Tuskegee experiments, when, you know, they did treat black people like lab rats and were, you know, doing all these experiments on them. And it could have started from that, like, don't go to the doctors because you can't trust them because they're going to do all these things to you. It very well could have started from that and just kept getting passed down and passed down. And even though we're no longer, Tuskegee experiments aren't a thing, we're still kind of in that mindset. And it's like, no, you need to go to the doctor, go to a doctor you trust, because granted, there are some bad ones. Oh, yeah. Bo isn't one, but there are some bad ones.
Bo's a little off with her statistics. 95%, 85%, 88%. I was like, Bo, you are real, like, you were trained very well. You made us feel real good and then told us the real deal after the fact. I just thought it was really, really good to see. One difference was the fact that Dre does go to the doctor. So that really shows, like, the generation difference. Like, honestly, I feel like our generation and maybe people a bit older than us, like, end of the baby boomer era, really do take care of themselves, because like if a foot hurts, if something hurts, I'm going to the doctor.
I'm that one. I'm like, something ain't right, honey, I got to go.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But I feel like a lot of people get to those bare bones and they don't know, you know, they don't feel like that's like the thing that they need to do. But I thought it was really good to see Bo's perspective that, you know, of course you go to the doctor, we do take care of you guys, we might not be telling you everything, which is not good, but it was just good to see, like, both sides of things.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I loved it. But you would think Pops would be a little bit more comfortable because Bo is a doctor. He lives with a doctor and he's with a doctor. And it's so funny seeing how Pops and Dre differ.
Oh, yeah.
Dre, I wouldn't even want to be his doctor. Like, really? You all up in there, all comfortable, your stuff hanging all out?
Exactly.
Get it together.
I know. Honestly, like, it's just so interesting, the generation difference. Like, older generations are tough as nails.
Yes,
and then our generation,
like,
we just break down. Or I got a scratch and I need a Band-Aid and I need all the, oh my gosh. It's a little overly dramatic. But it was really nice to see, not nice to see, but it was really cool to see Drake, like, not Drake.
Drake?
Who is Drake? Who is Drake, you guys?
You know who Drake is.
It was really nice to see Dre in his freak out moments. Like, you saw that he really had a heart for his dad. So, what did you think of those?
I thought it was sweet. We finally get to see how much he really cares for his dad, because they, you know, to us, they're always like button heads and it's like, but to see him like really care and start freaking out, of course, as Dre always does. He's like a drama king.
But wait. Do we blame him for being a drama king? Because all those times he got these broken bones and he's choking and his dad is like just hanging there. Like, that's traumatic.
To him?
I'm trying to give him a little bit of something.
No, and that's why Bo was like, "Don't freak out. He's he needs angioplasty. Don't freak out. It's okay. Don't freak out. It's a simple surgery. Just don't freak out." And of course, he went and freaked out.
Okay,
my daddy's gonna die.
Oh my goodness! When he went and said, "I'm gonna go tell my daddy I love him," and put on that Luther Vandross dance with my father, I was like, all right. Really? You think he's going to respond to that on his deathbed? I don't know if he's even going to do that.
Dance with my... I can't. But you know what? He wasn't even the worst one. The kids were.
Oh. They were just another level. Grimy.
I don't understand. These kids have no heart. I'm sure. They have no heart. They're just, except for my little buddy, Junior. Mm-hmm. Bless his heart. Oh, but they were marking all his stuff. The kids for when he died. And I'm like, I would have never did that to my grandpa.
Oh no. But parents though, I see a lot of people doing that with their parents. Like, ooh, one day though,
when mama die, I'm gonna get that bracelet. I do see that.
Terrible.
I do see that.
So I was shocked to see that it was more so the kids doing it as opposed to like Dre doing it. Like, okay, Dad about to die. All those times he did this to me. Okay, I'm about to put him in this nursing home. I'm about to do this and the other. I would have like thought that would have been a little more realistic, but actually that's kind of how these kids are these days. Like, they don't have great relationships with the generations above their parents, which is really sad. Yeah. But I would never do that to my grandparents.
No.
And never.
And Junior had it right, because he was like, shoot, if he's about to die, then I want to know everything he knows.
That's how I feel. And it's like I want to know my history.
Yeah. And I commend Junior,
You go.
you go, boy.
You do it.
But he did it, and out of all the kids, I was most proud of him. And the other three, I'm like, God, come on.
I wasn't that mad at Diane because she always is kind of the voice of reason, but she was putting her little
she was
stickies.
smart about it, though, because
Yeah.
she got him to sign some will thing.
See, too smart.
I
Too
love
smart.
Diane.
She is.
I love her. But, yeah, kids these days, I
Yes.
mean, ugh.
Well, how do you feel about the way that they're developing all the characters? I feel like we're seeing Zoe a little bit more. She's not always in her phone so much.
Yeah.
Do you think that, who do you think is a real leader among them? Because I don't quite see it as Zoe yet.
Really?
No, I don't see them like following her lead just yet.
Well, if it's not Zoe, then it has to be Diane.
That's what I'm
Because
thinking.
she's probably the smartest body. But that child is smart.
She is.
But it's probably her. I would say she's probably the leader. But I do like how I don't know if you're, but is I think Junior. I feel like Junior's going through like this puberty thing.
Yeah.
His
Is
voice
that
is
what they're trying to
deep
portray
in it.
on there?
I don't think they can help it at this point.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about it with my dad. Actually, we were talking about the show, and we were like, what's going to happen when Junior's voice and he's gets deeper. He starts growing and growing. He's going to get out of that awkward phase.
Yeah.
So
And the writers have to write that in. That's a good prediction. Mm-hmm. That'll probably be the moment when we see him kind of grow out of that awkward phase.
yeah, and be kind of cool. Hopefully, maybe.
Well,
He's
hopefully
still
his
gonna-
voice don't crack too much. Because those years, they crack a lot.
Yeah, but his voice is already kind of deep too, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But yeah, I love it. The braids. How we go from braids first episode, no braids, second episode, braids came back on third episode. You know how
Miss
long
Yara.
it takes to get braids.
But you know what? Maybe they're trying to show black people, we change our hairstyle a lot. Maybe they're trying to depict that, or maybe Yara just ended up getting her hair taken out right before they shot that next scene.
Or they filmed out of order.
Exactly. I can see that. Because if we see her braids pop up next episode, okay. I see where we're going with
Yeah.
this.
Once they in, honey, they stay for about 2-3 months.
Oh my God. You are so silly. Okay, so there were a few moments where Dre was freaking out, but I want to get to his coworkers because that's also that second opinion that we're talking about. So for you guys that watched, I cracked up when Pops went to the barbershop to get his second opinion.
Cranberry juice.
How? And
Cranberry.
Charlie is hilarious.
And how did Charlie get up in there?
Right. Well, everybody talks in the barbershop and the hair salon. So that was like, that's where he felt like, okay, I'm going to give my second opinion.
Right. But from the barbershop, though, none of them probably got a regular physician. None of them.
Which is so sad. And cranberry juice, how do you think cranberry juice is going to unclog those
Girl
arteries?
said it fixed a UTI, but not something with your heart.
No.
I think what's happening is people hear, cranberry juice is good for this. Orange juice is good for this. Vitamin C is good for this. And they're like, oh, well, if it's good for this, then
It's going to cure everything. Right.
No.
I mean, that's the same movement that we're having with these avocados. What are the real benefits of these avocados we put on everything?
That's true.
I'm saying everybody is doing that. I'll go look it up myself later.
Actually, on the salad I ate today.
I'm just saying, once it's a trend in motion and the whole community agrees this helps with that, it's true. We don't need a doctor's second opinion. We need a community opinion that says
Green
this
tea
works.
too.
Right.
Kale,
Kale.
quinoa. I can go all day.
Goodness. I thought it was really really funny though how Bo she's like every other episode she goes from strong to lighthearted, and in this moment it was so hilarious when she talked about Dre being a little bitch after he got back.
She actually called him. I'm like, you can say that on ABC?
Yes, you can on Blackish.
What?
I guess so.
Dang. Oh yeah, she did, and I'm glad she did that because he needed to hear it. It didn't help,
It didn't.
but it needed to be said.
I think she knows how Dre is. He's kind of been babied by his mom, but then tried to be toughened up by his dad. So I wasn't shocked at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think about in the office when they were having the conversation about make sure your dad gets that procedure? It's so important. It was so interesting to see how his coworkers were like, oh, I have my physician come to my house, concierge, and he just swaps out my kidneys. I'm like, is this why? Can we live a little bit longer, get our kidneys swapped out?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely heard of house calls, and it's true. The more money you have, the better doctors you're able to afford. So I mean, and I know they make house calls, and you know, they aren't always well, as we saw with Michael Jackson. But you know, yeah, we need more money, huh?
We do need more money so we can get our kidneys swapped out real quick. But another thing that I noticed was how when they were talking about the court that what's the name of the guy that it's his coworker that's he's hilarious, not his boss. But
I don't know. All I know is Charlie and his boss.
Okay, well, the guy that is not Charlie or his boss was talking about what did he talk about? I wrote it down. He was talking about how his dad, like his claim was, my dad left the doctor and he was an alcoholic and had cancer. No, and you went to court and that was your argument. Like, there are some serious cases of people getting like malpractice.
Yeah,
and that was his argument.
Is this the same guy that said he doesn't change his dad's diaper for every other day? That same one?
It might be. He said some funny stuff though.
They're all funny.
They are all funny. Oh my gosh. But it was just so interesting to see like the different perspectives, like, oh, this is so serious and important, and then I'm like, but it really isn't.
It's really not.
This is a privilege.
Yeah.
But I digress. Okay, so let's talk about Grandma Ruby and the fact that she spoils her grandkids, and they are rotten.
They are rotten.
Rotten. I'm like, I would love to have my grandmother cooking me pancakes and bacon.
You know what I had on the way to school in the morning? Cereal. I was lucky. And
that's why you're running out
myself.
the door.
Right.
Wait, have I seen them in this like whole season? Have they made their own food?
No, I'm pretty sure, you know, I think Bo was making it, you know, making her little healthy stuff. But I think this is the first time we actually saw Grandma Ruby cooking breakfast. And
it wasn't catering. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. You know, I would really like to see, you guys, an episode where she teaches the kids like the old family recipes. Because I feel like that's important. That's another thing that you pass down to your grandkids. So I'd like to see that, because I feel like
that would be nice with Zoe, Diane, and then Bo, and see that all the girls together. That would be hilarious.
That would be a great one. Okay, but yeah, so Grandma Ruby is pretty much spoiling the kids, and she's doing all of this stuff for them and letting them play video games with a lot of violence. And the thing she said to Bo was just shady. She's like, "Oh, Bo, so you don't agree with your kids playing, what was it, the Nazis?" What did she say exactly? I gotta find this, and you can touch on something else.
Yeah, she actually did say the Nazis. She what did she say? Oh, because they were playing video games, and she was like, Bo was asking Grandma Ruby, why you let my kids play the video games? And they were like, well, you don't want your kids to learn how to kill Nazis? Are you saying you're for Nazis?
Yes.
Basically, she was trying to insinuate that she was for
not
Nazis.
raising up her kids the right way by letting them play video games, which I think are very destructive.
They are. So I mean, but Grandma Ruby, I think, is a beautiful grandmother.
She is. And the moment that they had when she was talking about how she is a gift.
Honey, she took that and flew. She was like, I'm a gift.
Oh my goodness. But their relationship is so on and off again. So it was really good to see, like, okay, so she kind of slid in a compliment, even though you're a bad person, which is something that Grandma Ruby didn't hear. It was nice to see her say, you are a gift. Because, you know, it's good to see your kids have a relationship with their grandparents. So
and they're growing.
Nice.
I think everyone's growing, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Every relationships are kind of getting better.
No. Okay. Before we move on to Pops and Dre, can we please talk about the boss who talked about his father? His paw ma.
Oh, paw ma.
His paw ma.
So apparently, I'm not even gonna make that joke, but apparently, you know where I was going.
Where you're going.
I'm sorry. He had a transgender dad.
That was so interesting that they put that in this episode.
Of course they would. Black is just so like on to current events. I'm surprised they didn't say his name, but Caitlin's name.
Right.
Her name. I'm sorry. Her name. I'm surprised they didn't say her name. But yeah, I don't know what to say about
picking onions in the field?
In the dress.
In the dress?
That's how he died.
How can you die from picking onions in a dress?
He had the same thing Pops had, I think.
And then,
and he never got it fixed and never went to the doctor to find out what was wrong with him. So then that's what happened, because Pops almost died carrying Jack. Yeah. So
That's interesting. I wonder if they're going to touch on that, because this isn't even a black thing. This is a people thing. Like parents raising their kids on certain morals and things of that nature, and like just having different opinions. I wonder if they're going to touch on that a little bit more. That'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
We're getting into prediction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've been predicting
the whole time. But it was a good episode. I cracked up the whole time. And I feel like the season, from first season to now, it is just getting so much better.
So much better.
Like, I don't stop laughing when I watch this show now.
I know. And it's like we're laughing so loud, we're disrupting everybody around us. It's hilarious. And I love the growth. They're doing an amazing job.
The thing I love about Blackish is the fact that it's a family comedy. And that's something that I miss. Like, that's so nostalgic. We had so many great 90s family shows. But now this is a very different take on it.
But it is family, but I'm thinking, how family is it when you're saying bitch and all this stuff?
They touching on some stuff that really happens these days, I guess.
I guess I'm sure every kid hears curse words. So
every kid now is so far advanced that I can't even keep up. The 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds, they act like me. I'm like, okay.
They know how to work a iPad better than I do.
Oh yeah, very advanced, very advanced. Now, Junior, when he was filming Pops, which was the best part with the children, were just going rampant and getting their bid on his wheel. It was really good to see him talking about the different crab-based things. Yeah, I'm like, I never really thought of it like that. Did you remember in other episodes him saying like crab-based things?
No. So yeah, that's why I was confused. Did Pops work as a crab fisher? Crab? I don't know what
I have no idea, but the one I wrote down was soft like a crab in summer. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What does this actually mean?
I didn't know crabs were soft in the summer. Are they?
I don't know. But it was really, it's just one thing that was really good is that like your grandparents, your parents, all of us have like all these different sayings. Like I'm sure you can quote something from your parents that they say, and I can do the same for mine. So it's just really good to see them throwing in those nice little touches.
And the generations and the different, dynamics between the generations and seeing how everything is passed down. Because even though, Junior was a bit much.
Yes.
He is going to keep that video.
He is.
And his kids are going to see that video. He's going to cherish that video.
Yes.
He's probably going to keep going.
Give it a little side eye, like, why is Grandpa?
Right.
Why is he cursing and telling you to get soft like a crab?
Well, you also got to look at who their grandfather will be. And they will completely understand why their grandfather is the way he is, because their great grandfather was just like that.
That is a wonderful point. That is a wonderful point. Okay, so my huge question for everybody watching and for you, Shaprintace, is why is it that black men specifically, because we didn't see Grandma Ruby having any real issues, why do they feel like they're invincible? Because Pop said that he was going to have a warrior's death about eating this bacon. I'm like, why do they feel like they're invincible like this?
It's the pride. It's the male pride. It's, being, me, Tarzan, Eugene. Like that mentality, like me, beat on my chest, king of the, king of the jungle, all that. It's like, that's what they feel. And they feel, I can't be stopped. And that's just that male pride. And he has it. And he has that old man strength to go with it.
He definitely does. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about, guys, real brief. Pops goes through his surgery. It is successful. And that was another moment when Drake completely freaked out and I died.
Oh, damn.
So Shaprintace is referring to the fact that there was a balloon that popped while he was waiting to hear if Pops was okay. And he freaked out thinking that his daddy was dead. It was so classic. It was so classic. But Pops ended up being fine. And
Thank
Grandma
God.
Ruby comes and visits him while he's in the hospital recovering and goes in for a kiss on the lips.
I know. Okay, here's my thing. I don't think they're completely over, and I'm sure of it. They're going to get back together. They love each other.
You can tell. They may never actually get married or make it like legal,
but I'm sure they be sneaking, creeping in the middle of the night to each other's room.
You think? I think they have that relationship
sure.
where they like them bickering is like their way of flirting. So I could see it.
But she stole his Vicodin, so that may have been why she kissed him.
like, what you dealing with? Ruby needs some Vicodin.
Girl,
That's not Tylenol.
No, it's not. But it works 10 times better than
It
Tylenol.
does. It does. Okay, so we saw some great moments. At the end of the episode, we have a father-son moment that ends up being hilarious. But the dance with my father moment where he's dancing with Pops because he's trying to get him to recuperate was great. What did you think about that?
I wanted to cry.
Really?
I wanted to cry. That was I think that was the first time in Blackish history thus far where we've seen like such an emotional and such a special moment between Dre and between anybody. Like I've never seen that moment like that, and they did that beautifully, and it was they had a moment.
Definitely.
I had a moment with them.
Oh,
and it was so beautiful.
You trying to dance with your father real quick, Shaprintace?
I'm call my dad. Hey, Dad.
Well, that was a great way to end the episode. Let's go ahead and get into predictions, although we already went into those. Let's do that real quick, like rapid speed.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I don't know. We can say Stacey's came true today. We saw Bo at her job more.
Okay.
So
Stacey, her prediction came true. Cool. And then we said that we want to see Grandma Ruby teach the kids family recipes. See how that dynamic with Bo and Grandma Ruby helping the kids learn how to cook.
I think Bo and Grandma Ruby's relationship will get better, increasingly better. And I think Grandma Ruby and Pops will get together.
You say that every time. She's been saying that since the beginning. So your stuff may come true.
I hope so.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, you guys, we are out of time. Thank you so much for tuning in to ABC's Blackish. Use the hashtag ABTV Blackish to keep in touch with us and let us know what you thought about the after show, about the show. I'm your host, Courtney Tezeno. Keep in touch with me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram. And where can they find you?
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shaprintace Lynn with 2 N's. And you can also catch me here on Sundays at Survivor's Remorse After Show. And then make sure you tune in on Fridays to BHL for Just Saying.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. And we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.